All right. Death. Not a bad card at all. A lot of people equate it with a physical death or think it has something to do with that. It does not. It's actually a change, a rebirth, a transformation. So big change is coming. It may be because out with the old, in with the new, new year coming in. But the death card I love, it's Scorpio's card. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, perhaps Scorpio chart, Scorpio in your chart. But the death card talks about the ability to rise above, the ability to make needed changes, the ability to transform your life. And not just in, this isn't something like, oh, I changed my hair color. This is big. This is in depth. This is the end of a cycle, growing into a new one, like shedding off, like a snake sheds off their skin. This is, becoming something better than who you were before. And there's also a rebirth aspect to this, which could mean, a rebirth in somebody coming in, or just a rebirth in general in what you do in life and where you're going in life. Maybe a switch up, if you would. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Sun card. I love the Sun card. This also can represent Leo, so you may be dealing with a Leo or have Leo placements in your chart, but the Sun card is solutions. This is happiness. This is seeing things clearly. It's almost like, Virgo, you're on this trail of, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. Like you are set, ready, and moving forward. Because the Death card coming out and the Sun card here, again, is seeing the solutions of what needs to happen in order to make you happy. Why haven't I been happy lately? Why haven't I found the person I love? Why haven't I, why can't I get over my ex? Or should I, move back with my ex or get back together with my ex? All the answers you seek and all the solutions you're looking for lie in this Sun card. So this says, Virgo, for a lot of you, you already know which direction you want to go. The next part is implementing where you see yourself on that path. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Four of Wands. Ooh. So, this is the almighty. You want the big love. You want the big LOVE. This is the Four of Wands represents, it's one of my favorite cards in the deck because it's family, it's peace, it's a first completion, it's a resting place, it's a happiness. This is what you're seeking, is the whole package, kit and caboodle. And you could be like, well, duh, dark duh, doesn't everybody want, but this is different. This is like Virgo's made their mind up. There's no hold bar. There's nothing holding you back. There's no reason you can't have what you want. You see the answers here in the Sun. And the Four of Wands is you saying, I know exactly what my life looks like 5 years from now, and that's what I'm striving for. Will the universe take you on certain paths that sometimes you're like, wait, but I wanted to go over here to point A, and the universe takes you to like point B, C, and then back to A. So, this is more of having the stability and the security in your mind of knowing where you'll go, what type of energies you'll tolerate in your life, meeting new and potentially reviving old, depending on which direction you want to go. The next card you have is your distant past. So the past 5-10 years, could be throughout your childhood. And you have the Eight of Candles or Eight of Wands. Now, this is the universe saying there's an opportunity coming, Virgo, and take it. Maybe before in the past you've hesitated. Maybe you've, been too nervous to make this move. Maybe you've been too nervous to make, any moves out of the norm. This is really things changing up for you. And partly because you've decided, you're done with, you're done with making excuses. You're done with saying, well, but I really want life this way. I really want a joy, peace this way. And the Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands, I almost said Eight of Candles, but it's the same thing. Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is saying, go for it. What are you waiting for? There's nothing holding you back but yourself. So in essence, if you do have these amazing dreams and places you want to be, what are you waiting for? Now's the time, Virgo. Get moving. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past 2 weeks, past month or two. And you have the Four of Needles, Four of Swords. This is resting, recuperation. This is exhaustion. So you got over some sort of drama. You've gotten over some sort of, it feels like you're on this move to a major self-improvement, or you've just made some major changes in your life. All of the above. It could be career, it could be health, it could be finances, it could be, love, like spending more time with kids, whatever it is for you. But the Four of Needles is talking about taking the time out, doing what I need to do to embrace this transformation, to embrace whatever it is, you want, or where you're going, or where you see yourself in 5 or 10 years. It's almost as if you took this really hard look at your life and went, what the fuck am I doing? Or where am I going? Or this isn't getting me where I want. Or, the only person who can make these changes is me. So I need to put one foot in front of the other and start moving. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Five of Needles or Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is a defeat, a dishonor. It's a fear of victory. So this talks about making sure that you're being realistic with your selection. So if somebody from your past is coming back in and they're like, hey, Virgo, I miss you a ton. And, quacks like a duck, smells like a duck, and it looks like a duck, and you've dealt with this duck before, then you may want to be cautious in doing that. This also talks about don't give up. Don't give up on where you're going. Don't, just because maybe a fear creeps in that, oh, that'll never happen, or I'll never find what I'm looking for, so I'll just settle. That's the biggest thing with the Five of Swords, is talking about don't let a defeat get you down. There's going to be a winding road, as I talked about. You want to get to point A, but it's going to take a minute. There's going to be bumps in the road, but Virgo, of all signs, you guys are totally capable of handling this, getting what you want, going after what you want, and succeeding. So the Five of Swords, we'll clarify this here shortly, but the Five of Swords coming up in your distant future just reminds you not to get defeated. It just reminds you not to get tied up in people, places, things, drama that it never served any purpose, before, and may continue to not serve another purpose, because you know what you want, whether it's, the happy family with a white picket fence, 2 dogs, 3 kids, and happily married, or whether it's a travel partner for the rest of your life, whatever it is for you, it doesn't have to be some typical traditional, what used to be the norm. There's so many different opportunities out there, but whatever it is, you choose to be happy. And that's very important. The next card you have is over the next few weeks throughout December. And here it is. This tops the cake. You have the Fool card, okay? And the Fool card is that leap of faith. The Fool card talks about, you don't know what path you're going on. You may want to go to A, you may want to go to B, and you may want to visit C. So you can do all of that. The Fool card talks about, this is the no excuses. This is the getting out there and going. This is the no holds back, like I talked about. This is the universe saying, here, Virgo, here's your opportunity. Go find it. Whether this is new love, whether this is reconnecting with somebody from the past, the Fool card says you don't have to know the exact direction you're going. You do need to start putting a footstep forward. If the past is completely out of the picture and you want new love, then you know what, Virgo? You deserve something amazing and remarkable. And you're going to come across some major opportunities that put you right where you need to be, put you right in the path of where you want to go. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month. Could be in the beginning, middle, end, could last for a day, a minute. You have the Justice card, which is Libra's card. Now, the Justice card talks about, making sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's, which Virgo, you guys are like, that's your game. You're a pentacle. You're a top pentacle. Like, you know how to do that. You watch, you're cautious and hardworking. You make sure that you take care of, yours and those around you. This talks about don't jump to conclusions based on emotions. And that goes along with this Five of Swords that I talked about. It feels as though you may have a few people coming back. This transformation you're coming into, this heightened energy, this vibration, I don't know why, but I just totally got the chills. But this vibration or whatever it is that you're coming into, that you're going to be like amazing people with. Now everybody wants to be your friend. Now everybody wants like a piece of Virgo. And this talks about be careful. Like, you need to completely understand your situation before fully making a decision. So somebody's coming back, Virgo, with an offer. You may be going back to somebody with an offer, but you're thinking it through on whether that's, the best decision. Your heart's going to be pulled in many different directions with the Justice card. And this talks about not rushing, not coming to any major conclusions or decisions without weighing the scales. Justice card can also represent marriage. So for some of you, man, you're dead set. Like, that's where you're going to be 2 years from now. You're going to be happily married or happily married and adopted a bunch of fur babies, whatever it is for you, like your sights are set and your ambitions are big. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. And you have the Page of Swords or the Page of Needles. And the Page of Swords, again, this is how you're feeling throughout the month. Could last for a little bit, could last for a long time. But the Page of Swords is knowing the answers. The Page of Swords is seeing clearly what's in front of you. This is a message that you've been waiting on that's going to come forward. So either this is the clarity you need to move completely forward from a past person and never look back, or this is a message you knew was coming from a past person, but you're not sure if you trust them or believe it. Because again, the Five of Swords here is kind of a, is this a defeat? Is this a fear of victory? But you have the Justice card telling you, weigh all of your options. It doesn't mean that the past coming back necessarily has to be bad, but it doesn't mean that it necessarily has to be good. The Page of Needles or Page of Swords will help clear that up, though. This will be very crystal clear. There will be no doubt in your mind once this person comes in, whatever offer they present you with, whatever, you guys talk about, it will be very obvious to you whether this is something you want to return to or whether you're completely over it and like, no, good, I'm good. The next card you have are your hopes and fears, the outcome. And you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, very interesting. Here's the thing. You hope that there's a possibility you and this person could possibly rekindle, could possibly have this rebirth we talked about. However, the Queen of Needles, or Queen of Swords is somebody who is very honest, but can be very critical. The Queen of Needles is somebody who still has some things to say. So there's still something wedged between you and this past person. They're going to come forward. They're going to want to have a conversation with you. They're going to want to communicate with you. But the Queen of Needles is you kind of saying, look, I got shit to say. And either you like it or you don't like it. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but you're going to have to listen because it's not roses and Skittles right now. Like, you are doing amazing things, but you're not going back to the chaos, the bullshit, the deception, whatever it was that you dealt with before with this person. And you're not afraid to say it with that Queen of Swords. The next card you have is your outcome card. Okay. And you have the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is capability, stamina. You may look back for a second and then you may run 20 feet forward in, 10 seconds. This talks about no matter what happens, you're capable and you're strong. Like, you're wearing this mask and you're like waiting to unmask, Virgo. And I know that sounds strange, but it's like, you don't know what I'm capable of. So this person may think that you're like missing them a ton, or you're dependent on them, or you miss them, to the nth degree, and you can't wait to, be with them again. It's almost a like narcissistic, not necessarily narcissistic, but could hold some narcissistic tendencies where this person's like, but wait, Virgo, don't you miss me? Don't you want me back? And you're like, well, I've been doing all this stuff. You may have changed your hair, but like, as I'm saying with I don't know why that's coming up a ton, changing my hair. And then all of a sudden that song comes in, I did my hair. Yeah. Anyways, that song, Lizzo, but that song is now all of a sudden in my head, like big time. But as I was saying, you've made all these changes that are amazing for you, and big, big changes. Okay. This isn't just like little changes. These are big changes. And this person it's weird. It's almost like they can't believe that you don't want them, or they have this person, Virgo, is coming in with this air of confidence of, Virgo's been missing me. And it's like, what? It's hard to explain. You're going, no. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. Either like you're totally denying it, Virgo, and you truly do miss this person, which if you see my channel, do not shame. Like, I can't stand it when people are like, oh, I shouldn't love this person and I do, and they're a piece of crap. And it's like, we can't shame ourselves for who we love, because we love who we love. And I don't allow it on my channel at all. Like, if you love somebody, you love them. And, we need to stop making excuses for, yes, oh, they treated me terribly and I still love them. Well, It's going to take some time. Sometimes we love people who treat us badly. It just is what it is. But the reason I say that is because the Lovers pops out. Here I'm saying that with the Nine of Wands, you're strong, you're capable, you can manage with or without this person. They don't have this hold on you that they think that they have. But you have this Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a spark, curiosity, confidence. This is them coming forward and you're like, well, I'm interested in seeing what they have to say. And they very much want to communicate with you, Virgo, big time, because they want this Lovers back. And I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If you've seen my channel, you know I don't. So, you can get upset in the comments and say, screw this, they don't love me, or they hate me, or I hate them, or fine, then this is not your read. But you have the Lovers coming out here right now, which is Gemini's card. So you could be dealing with a Gemini or Gemini placements in your chart, but this spark right here is something that can't be denied. This spark is something that cannot be denied. Now, could it be new love coming in? Yes, with the Fool card coming out here. But there's somebody from the past coming back because, again, with this Page of Wands, that's literally, and then the Justice card is telling you, don't make hasty decisions based on emotion. So I think this person's going to come back in, tell you everything that they think you want to hear. And you have the Ten of Wands coming out here, which is burden, responsibility, first completion. This is the end of a cycle. Either you're going to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to take a leap of faith and move forward with somebody new, or I'm going to, or I'll give this past person a chance because I truly do love them. My concern is this Five of Swords, that is that fear of victory. Be careful with the emotions. Don't, just because they tell you everything they think you want to hear, like, oh, I'm ready to get married now, Virgo, or, oh, I'm ready to have kids now, Virgo, or, oh, you get my point. You are in control of this. Release any burdens. If there's any drama or chaos, or it doesn't feel good, or it's pit into your stomach, it's the knots in your stomach, not butterflies, but knots in your stomach, then it's not a good move. But the Magician card here is saying you'll know in due time, because you have the Fool right here moving into the Magician, which goes in order in the major arcana. And the Magician talks about you have all of the tools to do whatever you want, to manifest whatever you want. So make sure this person is coming in with clarity. Make sure that this person is coming in with true, genuine love. You'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to resonate with it. And if they don't, you are this Nine of Wands, which is more than capable of moving forward, moving on, and keep these transformations going. All right. Your clarification card is Atlantiste, and you have emotional purity. So this goes swimmingly with the end of the read, talking about the emotional purity. If it feels right, go for it. If it doesn't feel right, then wash yourself of this and move forward. So this person is going to be vying for your affection. There's no doubt about that. It's just whether you're in such a place now that looking back would take away everything that you have gained from this self-empowerment, self-improvement moments that you've had, and major changes that you've made, and progression you've made. If this person can add to that, then great. You're going to find out very quickly whether this love is pure, whether their intentions are pure, or whether it's one of those, I have a lot of words to spew, but my actions are not going to resonate with those. They're going to tell you a different story. So you will know very quickly, Virgo, whether this person comes back with a true meaning, or whether this is going to be another dramatic situation, and you'll answer and deal with it and shut that down very quickly if that's the case.